Kanpai!
Hello everyone, greetings and welcome to episode 39 of Kanpai Cast, where this week we will be doing the Spring 2022 6-episode follow-up, because we're now mostly halfway through the spring season of anime, and so I'm here with Xeno.
Yo.
Nasuth.
Hello.
And Thaylien.
Hi.
And we're gonna, see, I've been away, obviously. I'm back again this weekend, so I'm hopefully continuing. But I missed the lead up to this season and the 3-episode one, so this is my first time commenting on this 6-episode follow-up. If anyone has never watched Kanpai Cast before, we talk about anime. Hurrah! And we're now, as I say, we're halfway through the spring season, so we're going to give our thoughts on not all the shows, because we'd be here forever, but a majority of them. Ones we've been watching and ones we think you might like some info on. So, that's what we're doing. Let us move on and start with the... What's it called? Spring cleaning? Housekeeping. Thank you for scrolling.
Could be spring cleaning.
I was going for dojo dusting. It just didn't work. Right, so housekeeping, just for this episode, just to remind everyone, we have time stamps and chapters allowing people to navigate the sections of the show they're interested in watching. You either just below on the bar, I think just below Thaylien's lovely face, there's a little arrow, click that, it'll pop out over on the side. Or it's in the description of the video, there'll be timestamps. So you can click through if you're like, oh, what did they say about that show? Let me click to go straight there. Yeah. Right, and for this week's guest...
any spoilers we happen to discuss will be tagged in there as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Which, this probably going to have plenty of spoilers. Yeah.
I think the whole episode's probably going to be spoiler tag, so... So also for this week, as just introduced again, then we have Thaylien.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Who?
Good to be back.
Who's Thaylien? No, it's... Yeah.
No, there's Thaylien. And so I probably won't see... Thaylien's done a stellar job while I've been away, filling in things.
Have?
So, have you? I don't know. I do not. I assume you have. I'm just going to keep
You have.
Man. And so probably won't be around for a bit, but we'll definitely be back for guest episodes in the future. So definitely. But probably won't see him as much in near future.
Give him a nice little break.
Yeah. So normal people aren't strange like us and just endlessly doing podcasts just because we find it fun in a weird
You like
way.
talking. Well, Xeno likes talking especially.
What the fuck did I do?
You know.
Yeah. Started 14 podcasts, continued 4 of them.
Yeah.
That's not true.
No, it's not. The other ones were called Machinimas.
Oh! Ooh!
We do have things that'll pop up when we review our episodes, saying what we think of them, and they'll get one of 4 attributes if we think it's worth watching or not worth watching. However, we don't have one for sick burn, but that definitely was a sick burn. Right, moving on last piece of housekeeping. If you notice any issues in the editing, so sound issues, a video issue, it all falling to pieces, and we didn't realise, just shout them either in the comments of this video or on the Discord, and I think there's a link in the description to the Discord. Otherwise, Nasuth will never learn.
Yeah, I'm terrible. I'm a horrible human being.
Well, no, you're a snow person.
I'm a horrible snow person. Scarf. Yeah, with scarf arms.
Snow nightmare. Purple arms. And he laughs. Look, that's the sound and face he makes while he's eating out children.
Devouring your souls, yeah.
Oh my god.
So glad you finished that sentence.
Loz is
How else will he maintain his youthful beauty? Right, moving on to the anime news of the week.
Yes.
Am I doing this as well?
No. This is my section. This is own. Step off, Loz. This is mine. So, related to an earlier story about Studio Doga Kobo closing for 11 days in April, Shikimori's Notch to Cutie, which we are not watching, but I know some people are, will have 2 delays in its upcoming schedule. On May 21st, instead of Episode 7, Episode 1 will be rebroadcast with cast commentary, and on June 11th, what would have originally been Episode 10, and then Episode 9 will now be a recap for the cast's favorite scenes. So, if you are a fan of that, just be aware.
Well, it's a good thing no one's watching that.
I hope so. I haven't touched it, but if you don't like it, I'm sure I won't.
Just don't. Oh my god. It's just not Komi.
Yeah, fair. Fair. So I know several of you are fans of the regular Magic School. So coming this summer will be an app game with the subtitle Reloaded Memory. It's being produced by Square Enix for the iOS and Android, scheduled to come hashtag not spawn. And scheduled to come out this summer. It'll be the typical free-to-play game with in-app purchases, but the story is being overseen by the original author, Tsutomu Sato. So at least they've got the original person overseeing, if not writing the story.
Square Enix on app games, I'm sorry, I just want to add in here, it's just never a positive, really, these days.
Really?
They want them to make all the money, and then they cancel them, or they do weird things like invest in crypto and expect it somehow to make billions of pounds or something, and it doesn't.
Wait,
thus they cancel games.
What game did they do that with?
No, they didn't cancel
Quite
it.
a lot of their Square Enix
There was
games
a
on
year,
mobile.
where they recorded massive losses on their mobile portfolio, and it was because that they were trying to invest in cryptocurrency and NFTs.
The fools
Thing. It was like, what the hell? Just make the mobile games as good as you can, and don't you make enough millions off of that? Apparently not. So I'm very happy that game's come out, but I'm
Also, as we've seen with the Avatar: The Last Airbender franchise, having the creators on board doesn't mean they'll stay on board.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. But I mean, maybe it'll be good. Who knows? So, an internal Netflix memo indicates they want to roll out a lower-priced, ad-supported tier sometime between October and December this year. This is, of course, in relation to their subscribers falling off and all that stuff. No word on a price, but the same memo indicated they plan to crack down even harder on password sharing in the same time period. So, I'm probably going to lose my access to Netflix.
Oh dear.
It's my best friend. We've known each other since we were 4 years. We're basically... Right, so this one's for Laws. Bandai Namco Holdings announced that over the past fiscal year, the entirety of the Gundam franchise earned 101.7 billion yen, or around $783 million. This is the first time it's earned more than 100 billion yen, up 7% from the year before, and Gundam purchases or Gundam stuff now makes up 10% of all of Bandai Namco's sales. While Dragon Ball still makes more by about 30 million, Bandai Namco owns the sole rights to Gundam, unlike with Dragon Ball, so they get all that money.
I just want to tell you one thing to that. Buy Gunpla.
It is Gunpla. it is mostly Gunpla that's doing this, yeah.
Buy Gunpla.
No, but Loz is trying to be sponsored by Bandai.
I'd love it if we got sponsored by Bandai. I don't even own
Gunpla.
Gunpla, but I would tell everyone to buy Gunpla. They look freaking amazing. I'd love to make it, but I'm just not a thing person. But, No, I just want to say it's interesting. I find intellectual properties that are kind of like important, like give like a feel of like the nation, if that makes sense. It's really important. The only one I would say left we have in the UK is the Games Workshop intellectual properties, like 40k. Yeah. It's like really.
Oh yeah, but they're trying to flick that into the ground, aren't they?
I know, which is annoying. But the core of it, hopefully, because it's so long lasting. Oh, and you've got like, and the Lord of the Rings as well. They're trying to do the same, brewing that in the ground. But hopefully, these are so old that the core of them is important. And I think they're important for like a national identity. And in Japan, Gundam
is it's huge. Yeah,
it's so long and so historic. You know, they make statues of it.
Yeah,
it really shows that it's important to the culture. You know.
Yep, it even beats Evangelion, and that one was huge for a long time too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Speaking of Dragon Ball Z, or sorry, Dragon Ball in general, Crunchyroll and Sony Pictures Entertainment announced that they will screen the long-delayed Dragon Ball Super superhero movie in theaters worldwide. So it's all coming out at once, everywhere except Japan. Japan gets it first. This summer in both the original and Japanese audio with subtitles and with a dub. So you can go, I guess they're going to show in the same theaters? Both of them at the same time? I don't know. But they're getting the dub and the original at the same time, all worldwide. Film will be Crunchyroll's first globally distributed theatrical release. And there's already a dubbed trailer on Crunchyroll's YouTube channel. So if you're excited to see where they're going to go give it a look, I guess. And that's it for the news.
I love having points on these news, but I've seen that trailer, and once again, they are taunting me with Gohan doing something. If once again they do the same thing they always freaking do, I will not be happy.
No, Dad, I've done my part. I've proved that I can fight. It's your turn now.
No, it's not that. No, it's not that. It's they get to the point where they show like, oh look, Gohan's going to be important. It's going to be Gohan who's going to save the day. He's actually going to, be a man. Instead, it's like, oh no, his fight's at the start of the movie because he's the first one, and they're all doing something. And then, oh no, he's been beaten / kidnapped / captured. Oh, Goku better step up.
And then Android 17 is the final one that stands at the end.
It's almost like the oh no, they got Worf kind of comment, except he's not the Worf of the series.
Spoilers, spoilers. That's how Super ends.
Yeah. I mean, you could have not told me that, and I'd still be confused. Now I know. Right, Android 17 did it. Good job.
But how did he do it?
It doesn't matter. He did it.
And what did he do?
Goku didn't win.
At the end.
Goku wasn't the one that saved the day.
Well. He did.
It doesn't matter. Android 17 was, left standing at the end of the. God damn it, Nasuth! It's ruined everything for me.
Honestly,
no,
I'm joking. I'm not.
Moving on.
I'm joking. I'm not gonna watch. I don't care.
Right. Right.
Traitor. Yeah.
Shall we move into the topic?
Yeah. So, gonna go into our shows for this season, and Loz, you're up first. So is AMAIM the first one you're going to do?
Oh, yep. AMAIM is the first one to do because I do not want to be talking about other stuff and waiting for this one. So I caught up on finishing last season and catching up to the 5 episodes, and he hasn't reached its 6th yet before the release of or the recording of this episode.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put this on Nothing Special. So can we have a Nothing Special, Pat?
Nothing special.
Nothing special. We need a sound effect for that.
100%.
Boom. We need a special sound effect there. Yeah, so this is Nothing Special. This is another Bandai property, so it is Gundam, and I love Gundam. I love me Gundam. I forgive Gundam shows that are terrible, apart from one that I just can't seem to watch, but this I was so helpful for because I thought, okay, it's a Bandai exploring.
Well, the first half was so good.
Yeah. The first half is really good. So, an introduction, people who don't know on it, it's sort of Japan in an alternative universe where mechs are a thing that exists, and Japan, for some strange reason, seems to have been is a battlefield point between 4 different factions. We've got Europe, basically China, basically Russia, and basically America. I've split Japan 4 ways. I don't know why.
It's not America, not Russia, not China, and not the UK.
Yes.
Yeah.
Europe.
Well, yeah, Europe.
They do
Europe
say
in general, yeah. Not
if
the
it was
EU.
UK, it'd be great.
Not the EU.
Because that's the point. We'd have bloody Union Jacks and everything, and I'd be like, "Why?" Instead, I can't remember that. I can. It's easy. Not China's stuff is all red. Brilliant. I get that one. All the other 3 factions, I'm like, which ones are these? This is the Union of the Democratic something of Eurasia, Oceania, something. So it makes it very hard to track what's going on. And it makes in the second season, they actually started putting maps on to show you the different faction lines. But even so, you don't. This show just gets a bit lost. It's trying to show this sort of gritty, realistic robot fighting in Japan, making it contextual, making it feel like there's something going on there. But you never really get a grounding feel of what's going on. Season 1 was great, had some really good episodes. I thought they did. I brought this in the past. Really great point of like showing the maturity of a character who gets thrust into the fight, doesn't want to fight, leaves, gets shown what if he doesn't fight, what's going to happen, and comes back within maybe 1 episode, and it was just didn't felt rushed, didn't felt dragged out. It was perfect. Season 2, I'm glad.
Well, part 2, but yes,
season 1. Yeah,
part 2. Yeah.
Season 1's ending where it's like cliffhanger. They blow up the spoiler tags on.
Wow.
Right, so they spend most of the time worrying about some stupid AI robots, and this is the stupidest AI robot called Ghost. It's just the bestest ever. And they blow it up at the end of season 1, but they don't, because it's still alive, and the Americans get it. And then we thought the main character died at the end of season 1, but he didn't. He's fine. And his mech comes, and it's all like covered in black. And you're like, oh my god, it's like a black mech now. And then it's standing some fire, and like...
And they burn it. Yeah, I didn't get that at all. It was like the worst bait and switch ever. It's so dumb.
And one of the other thing that gets me is in season 2, the Americans are winning now versus everyone, basically, because they have better AI. Doesn't point out the fact that their new mechs seem to have laser cannons out of nowhere, and that would have been a much interesting, more development of technology thing. They just have laser cannons, and better AI is what's doing it. And that just seems to be the main thrust now. Instead, at least before, it felt like all the different...
It felt like there was a goal before. You know, the goal is to stop Ghost and protect the people. What is the goal this season?
Goal now is just everything's about Ghost, and Ghost is now in the hands of the Americans. The Americans have laser cannons and beat everyone with their amazing.
But our people don't really know
about Ghost.
I guess our people know about Ghost because what's her name, Ms. Zusu, who shows up out of nowhere to help them. She's like
the technician in the first.
Yeah. She's like, oh, the AI
made Ghost,
or the Americans got Ghost, so then we saved Ammo instead of getting Ghost. But they don't seem to show any indication that they want to go kill, stop Ghost, because we can't let anyone else get this power. It's too powerful. We need to stop it. There's no indication of that.
We know where Ghost is.
Yeah.
And then they don't do anything about
it.
And instead, the main character there, now wearing black in his emo phase, as you can see.
Yeah.
He kills one person in between seasons, and he gets all emo about it. And it's like, oh, should I kill people after I run my giant mech sword through people? Yeah, I can kill people.
I think it's more that he saw the kids die that made him go super emo, but...
The kids don't die.
You
see them. None of them die. The kids are fine. You see them, and they're like, "Oh, he's all scary because you shot someone." So yeah.
Right. That's right. That's what it was. Yeah.
It felt like it good ideas at the start, and then it's moved into season 2, and like now should be maturing onto what the big plot is going to be. That okay, fair enough. The Americans are going to be our main adversary, and we're going to stop them because they've got the super AI. Instead, I'm just lost. I have no idea what we're doing now. Character set flags every episode. Last episode, there was a guy's like, I actually like Japanese people, and because I'm a Europe person, Eurasian whatever person, I'm actually helping them all, and my wife's going to give birth this episode. I'm like, he's going to die. He's done. He survives for some reason.
He does, yeah.
And then what was the point of it? It's just so lost at the moment.
Was he also only 2 weeks from retirement?
It was that kind of flag.
Was he pushing 60 with a bum ticker and a drinking habit?
No, it was, I'm the only one keeping this sanctuary of Japanese people away from the military, and if I call it anything else but like an economic zone, the military's going to come in. It's all thanks to me, and my wife's giving birth today.
His Japanese wife, because he loves Japanese culture so much.
It's just ridiculous. Anyway, so at the moment, it's down to nothing special. If it doesn't improve, I think by the end of the season, it's going to hit a pass. So I could moan, but I like that timer, and so we're moving on.
I'm very sad about it myself.
Bubble.
Yeah, let's go do Bubble. So this one is a little easy because it's not. It was a movie. I really didn't write too much down about it. Imagine The Little Mermaid, but in Tokyo. Flooded post-apocalyptic Tokyo with sentient bubbles, and you have seen this movie with parkour, parkour gangs. Yes. I know.
I can't imagine this. You're gonna have to elaborate.
Okay. How do you rate it?
Right. Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it looked interesting.
Rate it.
It is a pass. It is a full pass.
Oh,
I cannot recommend it. I mean, it's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. But as a story, as a narrative, it just kind of. So essentially, the world they're in, there was they don't really explain fucking anything, which is part of my problem. Suddenly, these bubbles just appear everywhere. And they're not really doing anything, they're just kind of floating around. But then, for some reason, our main character interacts with one of the bubbles, and now they're angry. Now they're super angry. And so they surround Tokyo, even though they're all over the world, they only do this to Tokyo. Surround Tokyo in a giant bubble, flood it, and create like weird gravity vortexes all over the place. And the only people who are there are these delinquent kids who don't fit into the rest of society and just want to have parkour races to the death. Well, not necessarily to the death, but it happens. And there's a woman that's there studying them for some reason. And then our main character goes to visit the center of the disaster because he remembers things happening there, and ends up trapped underwater. And then this girl who is a bubble, one of the sentient bubbles, somehow takes on a human form, goes down and rescues him. And then it kind of ensues. She doesn't really know much about the world. She can barely talk. They have to teach her everything. So she's here learning about the humans, and you can kind of see where this is going. The bubbles want to learn about the humans. And then it just kind of ends. She dissolves back into nothing, just like the Little Mermaid. She dissolves into sea foam.
You mean The Little Mermaid, the actual story?
Yes, the actual book, the actual Lewis Carroll? No, not Lewis Carroll.
No.
Whatever his name is. Yes, yeah. Hans Christ, yeah. And they kind of hammer this theme in as if you couldn't pick up on it already. Her favorite book, once she finds out about it, is The Little Mermaid, and they show that sort of like several times in the movie. It's just. Oh, it is, like I said, it is really beautiful. The parkour is nice and smooth. It's absolutely gorgeous to watch, but it's just so empty. There's just nothing there. I don't know if they wanted to like make this geared towards a younger audience who doesn't know any better, and they're just like, oh, what a cool romance. He loves this girl, and it's a doomed romance because she disappears in the end. It's just I don't even feel the need to spoil it because I'm not really giving anything away. If you know the story of The Little Mermaid, then you know she's gonna disappear by the end. There's nothing. It's just gonna. It's not a spoiler. There's no surprise.
So she disappears and nothing. That's it.
Oh no, sorry. She disappears to stop the Angie bubbles from attacking again. So she goes back to join them, and stops their anger because now she understands humans.
But she can't.
And so I think the bubble collapses, and then all the big bubble collapses, and all the little bubbles just start floating around everywhere in the world again. That's it.
Not as people.
Not as
people.
people.
To be the big bubble for them to be people.
I don't know. I don't know. Nothing is explained.
Nothing is explained. All to play for. With bubbles.
It's just a very gorgeous movie to watch with no real substance, and it's sad.
So what you're saying is the Japanese animation studio went, we like The Little Mermaid, we should like do a thing that says how good The Little Mermaid is.
I wrote this note down here. It feels like somebody said, so there's the big bubble around Tokyo. Have you ever looked close at a water droplet? It has a whole world inside. And they made this movie, and they didn't have anything to put in it aside from that, so they just borrowed from The Little Mermaid. They just said, oh, we'll lift this entirely and stick it in here. She's in love with this human who is the prince. She comes to meet the prince. She has to give up her... Because the prince, the guy, the main character, can like hear the bubbles. They make this tone, and he uses that in order to jump on them in his parkour.
Right.
Because they don't pop when he jumps on them for some reason. And so we've got this whole thing about sound. She can hear it too. She can sing it. So she has to give up her voice in order to I don't know. It's so dumb. I just hate it.
Should we move on then?
Yeah, let's Thaylien's turn?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's on to me.
It's Dawn of the Witch.
So, Dawn of the Witch is still an acquired taste, but it's getting to be borderline must-watch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I got a great vibe with this one. Xeno told me last time we spoke about it that it's a sequel, but I basically committed to watching this through first and then going back to the original to see what they did to change things. It's almost like watching Star Wars in release order rather than chronological, except I suspect the first part's going to be better than the second. So, in this show, we are in a fantasy setting, magic exists, and our characters are all semi-misfits in their school. And in this part of the series, we're getting more into progression of those characters rather than the plot. I was starting to get really skeptical when they did this great test of character kind of thing when they got some new supervisors out on their little village they're going to. But then the three of them were tasked with, I shudder at the thought of it, starting up shops.
Oh no! Oh no!
But,
Really?
But it turns out that these are so far in name only. Okay, so basically they have to hone their skills in some way. So our Beast Fallen guy who can regrow parts of himself is actually really skilled at reinforcement magic. And it gets stated that if he gets to if he improves enough, he could become known as the immortal mage because of it.
Okay, hang on. I have a very important question. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Mm-hmm. I see a reptile on screen. Is there lizard sex?
No, shut up.
No,
that is a very important question that has
no, it isn't.
There is not, but I think there's tiger sex.
Oh, okay. Not Overlord quality, but I'll take it. Sorry.
So...
Oh, what is...
What did you do?
I think we...
Technical difficulties. So,
Timer.
Yes.
yeah. So, our Beast Fallen guy has to practice his reinforcement magic, so he starts working as a healer. The fan service girl character is a more hunter and generalist combat kind of style, so she becomes an odd jobs worker and helps out. While our literally depressed and isolationist main character hides at home and doles out magic to people that need it. But I have to emphasize the way they're handling that last one is they're actually pointing out that while he has a reason he feels this way, while it's completely natural to want to do this, he has a job now and he has friends now. He can go outside and touch grass. But just like a real depressed introvert, he needs a reason to do things. So I'm like that myself. I need a purpose to go out and do something. Otherwise, I'll stay at home and keep to myself. And they teach him a great lesson about that by sending him out to fetch some, just fetch work, basically, with no instructions on where to go. And so to do that, he'll have to ask somebody. And over the course of the day, he meets people and talks to them, and they kind of give this nice, gentle lesson of it's okay to go out and do stuff. You don't have to hide at home. And you can see him actually learning. In the background of it, there's a little tying up of what absolutely must be plot threads from the first series, some character growth on behalf of the other main characters, and a solid hint there's way more going to happen when they actually start, getting properly trained. Even the characters note that they're going to have to do something about our main character. He can't stay a battery for other mages for so long. It's not healthy. So even though things like the action scenes get a bit reduced, the threat is there. They're kind of very pretty when they happen. And, there's also the odd bits of fan service because Holt is absolutely adorable. And just as a way it's progressed, I'm genuinely still enjoying this. It's still fun to watch. I'm impressed with how they're handling the idea of an actual depressive being the main character. And the way they're actually teaching lessons. I can't wait to finish this and go back and watch to see how the other characters turned out in the first series. And it's building. It's borderline must-watch because it's got this potential. If they don't do anything with it, it's going to drop to a nothing special. But for now, I'm enjoying it.
So just to tack on the end of that, I've actually dropped this. Because I honestly can't stand it. I got halfway through the 4th episode and I was like, I'm just fucking done with this. This is not a patch on the first season in the slightest. And the character that does it for me is the OP as fuck quiet guy, right? Because he has just infinite magic. And like, could you just not say he has 10 times the magic? He has to have infinite magic.
Infinite magic.
He's OP as fuck. I dropped it. I might pick it up again.
But you say he's OP as fuck, but he doesn't do anything because he has no reason to. He's still learning how to do stuff.
Yeah, but I just know that
it's not like he's an OP main character from another isekai. He's OP in potentia.
Yeah, but give him like 5 minutes and like, we need to cast this barrier only if we had the magic. Battery.
There is that. But again, when the other characters themselves point out he can't stay this way, it's
why?
Well, because it's not healthy for him.
Is it
Why?
actually? Is it going to kill him?
No,
is it showing health effects
could.
on the fact that he's doing this for too long?
Well, they actually point out that it could. And that
it could?
Also, yes.
Or that we see some of these effects?
No, hang on. We do actually see some of the effects. When people take too much, he does faint for hours. Okay, he's physically drained for, a full day or so and doesn't wake up.
Yeah, that sounds like when I go to the gym.
But it's also not healthy for... Fair enough. Okay, but it's also not healthy for the other people. Other people will want to use his power.
Also sounds like when I go to the gym.
Because he will become a target. And that's the thing. They've actually just brought in another little plot thread that's going to happen soon. And I'm fairly sure that they're going to concentrate on this thing of stopping him from being a target by teaching him to do stuff. You know,
Okay.
it's got potential.
Let's
so
move
we'll.
on. Okay. So it's time for. I'm gonna knock out 2 at this point because one of them is okay. So the first one I'm gonna talk about is A Couple of Cuckoos. Pass. Just fucking pass. It's bad. It's a rom-com. It's dumb. 2 babies get. It's only on episode 4 because they started the season late. 2 babies get swapped at birth, and they realize when they're like 16 years old that we got in contact with you, the babies were swapped because apparently the nursing staff at the hospital couldn't be fucked to get the right beds. So,
as nursing staff does, right? You know,
and so let's get the male protagonist to talk to his biological parents. And he just coincidentally runs into the female protagonist, as on screen here, literally as on screen here. And
they fall in love?
She's supposed to be set to be engaged to someone. So she's like, hey, pretend to be my boyfriend so I can send photos to my family that, I've got a boyfriend and I can't be engaged to someone. Shock horror, it's him. Because the parents apparently don't want to give up the relationships with the kids that they've raised, right? And it is so predictable. It's animated fairly well. It's dumb. Pass, right? The next one I'm going to talk about is trapped in a dating sim. The world of Otome games is tough for mobs, right? This is nothing special. I'm going to keep watching this, but this is nothing special. And I think Loz may or may not enjoy this. Effectively, older big brother is conned by his younger sister to complete, or blackmailed into completing a dating sim for girls to get the perfect good ending. And he ends up doing it over the course of days, doesn't eat, tries to go to the convenience store, and lo and behold, falls down a flight of stairs and kills himself. What's that? He's isekai'd into the game! Yeah, Stairkun. Truck-kun was on holiday at this point. And he gets isekai'd. Now, he is a background character. He hasn't changed genders like in... Fantasy Knockout? That was the other one, wasn't
Fantasy
it?
Knockout.
Yeah, so he didn't change genders, and he's not like a noble or anything. He is like country bumpkin kind of thing. However, he gets... women have the authority. It's a matriarchy. It's a matriarchy across the whole kingdom. So women have the power and everything, and he is going to be effectively sold off by a duchess, I think, to another duchess who's who's a widow. What?
The duchess.
Yeah, a duchess. And he doesn't like this, so he convinces his father, let me borrow the family boat. Goes to that secret lab you saw on screen a moment ago because he knows the game inside and out because he bloody 100% completed it for his sister. He knows where a legendary item is, and he goes and gets it, and thus he's able to get untold riches, and is given a baronship. I don't know. He's like he's
a baronetcy.
Sure. He's basically given the opportunity to become a baron if he goes to nobility high school academy and he gets himself a wife, right? It's really bland, generic up until the 4th episode where he becomes effectively a tyrant. I think this will suit the tastes for some people. I am going to continue watching this, but the plot is really obvious. There's just some weird charm to it that I'm actually enjoying. So I'm going to keep watching this, but I will say this is nothing special.
Okay, interesting.
And Loz may want to check it out.
Yeah. Sounds like I'd like it.
Cool. Right, moving on to Loz's next one. The greatest
Demon Lord.
Yeah. Reborn as a typical nobody.
Yes, I actually really enjoyed this show. I'm at the moment going to give it an acquired taste because though the last episode I feel almost got me into must-watch territory because spoilers on from the start.
Alrighty then.
Yeah, so obviously, maybe I shouldn't say too quickly. Yeah, so there's a guy who's gonna play. It's the hero in your typical fantasy isekai. Has beaten the enemies, beaten the demons, and then all the humans reject him. So he wants to join the demon side. But the main leader of the demons won't let him join. But he gets
wrong show.
No, you're on the wrong show.
I'm on the wrong show. Which one's this?
Greatest demon.
That was quitting.
Reborn.
I'm on the wrong show. Sorry, Greatest Demon Reborn. I watched these
Reset
two shows
the timer.
independently. That's my bad. Sorry, I swapped these around. I also enjoyed this one. Okay, so this is the other one. Oh, okay. So sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna maybe. Yeah. So sorry. This one gets. Yeah, acquired taste to nothing special. Sorry, I've swapped it for the other one. Yes, acquired space, nothing special. Yeah, this one's not as good. So the Demon Lord who kind of was lonely and kind of it's not quite really explained yet. Had one friend, but sort of lost them, and that's still not explained. And now they are reincarnated in the world, and they're kind of just, I don't know what they're kind of doing, actually. They're kind of just trying, they're trying to make friends. That was the main thing of it. But I would say it's good, and I do like some bits of it, but I do feel it's getting a little bit lost. Though, actually, in the last episode, yes, actually, it still stands true. They introduced a possible villain, someone who knows he's the reincarnated Demon Lord, into this normal body and has trying to do something, maybe get him killed, maybe make him come back as the demon. But it's alright, actually, yeah. It's a bit hard to say. I got all excited on the other one, set my mind to agenda, and now I'm a bit lost. Yeah, so
it's Komi, but with magic and reincarnation. Because he's looking for friends.
No, it's Karen protagonist, but with that. Sorry, but the interesting thing is, there's lots of sub things going on. So, for instance, the main character there. So it's good we got spoilers on. She's like the character who's the main protagonist's friend, childhood friend, and she has no other friends because she's.
Which one? The one that's standing up?
Yeah, the girl that's standing up now. She's descended from these demon gods. Evil gods.
The evil gods.
Yes, so she's got the blood evil gods in her, and she can't make friends with anyone else. But it turns out that she's also the royalty, and it's like that's got some interesting potential there. But there's I don't know.
I like that bit because so the Demon Lord in the old times was worshipped. He saved the world from evil gods, from dragons, from everything. And then when he'd done it all, of course, depression kicked him. He decided to reincarnate so he can actually be more normal and have friends and have family. And since that time, it turns out that the royalty actually do have the blood of the evil gods in their veins, so they rule through puppets. They put people on the throne as proxies, so that it's never discovered that they actually are evil god, actually descendants of the evil gods.
And there's two reasons for that, I guess. Is one because people might rebel against them because if they knew the truth, but also their blood can be used to bring back the evil gods, which is it was an interesting plotline for 2 episodes. It was like, ooh, potential Cthulhu-esque things going here, where they had a being born of the remains of all these old gods, and they tried to feed the girl again with white hair to it to bring back the god. But obviously, our protagonist came in, and I'm a bit worried he's going to be too OP the whole time.
I'm a bit worried about that too.
Again, in the last episode, we had an interesting character who basically has just spent the same amount of time as the Demon Lord in the past to now in a hyperbolic time chamber. They think 3 years has passed, but in actual fact, 3,000 years has passed. And now they're very strong. Yeah, yes. They kept, it was like, right, that's 3 years. Time to leave this chamber and go help everyone beat the evil gods. Comes out. What is this civilization with cars? What is this?
It's crazy.
That's actually pretty cool.
I love the fact that the comedy drama is actually coming from the fact of some people know him and are still alive in this time, and he's trying desperately not to be discovered. But of course,
does he look the same as he used to?
No.
No.
But the thing is, so it's very similar to that show last season about the crest, the guy with the crest. In that
Yes,
season,
it is. It's that show done better. Not
I didn't
perfect.
finish that show, but yeah, I'd say
not better, but it's actually not well, but just better. It is like where the other one was. It was strongest sage with the weakest crest. While he smugly smugged his way through everything, this guy wants to be humble. He wants to be liked. He wants to make friends.
Okay.
Yeah. But the other one also did have its good points, and it was a mile a minute, and it did just get things done. This one does seem to be a little bit slower and a bit more reflective at times, which is good. But at the same time, I don't feel a goal. Like that one, it was like, oh god, these demons are trying to control humanity. Must stop the demons. In this, it's like, I'm still OP. Can I make friends still? Oh, apart from the fact that literally every single woman just wants to jump him every 2 seconds.
Oh, so you remember the Somas in Fruits Basket, where you had Prince Yuki Soma. They're starting to treat him a bit like Yuki.
Yeah.
You know? So the idea we can do a maid cafe, and all of you can wait on our main character, and all the girls agree instantly.
Oh, yeah, so one of my complaints, though, I do enjoy the show, and there's like that character. It's really interesting because that beast character of the things is a teacher at the school he's now at, but was actually one of his subordinates back when he was a demon. So it's like she's like, oh, what are you? You've got some skills. Oh, that's interesting. But she doesn't quite peg on into who he is until somebody else is like hinting at it. But the character I want to complain about actually is the succubus girl. Which is the girl that Thaylien was just saying. So in the last episode, she's like, let's have a maid cafe. And all the girls are like, why are we going to wear these slutty outfits? But you'll be able to dote on main character. Oh, we must all, it's only salads and salons for me to the gym. We get to dote on main character. Yeah, it's ridiculous. But, okay, this one thing is I just want to, because I'm aware of the time. I don't really like her character as much because she's supposed to be really meek. She was bullied, and that was really interesting, and she was like getting a bit stronger for it. But all of a sudden, she tries to jump at the main character's bones, whatever, and the friend discovers her. But then she just seems to get this well of confidence when she starts competing with the childhood friend out of nowhere. I didn't like that. That was my only really issue on the characters. Otherwise, the character's fun. Yeah, I'd say it's acquired taste. There's a bit more to it than there's nothing special. It's a bit above, but a bit borderline. But anyway, that was it. Oh, I mixed that shit up. I'm so annoyed. No, my last 2 shows off.
Oh well. Right, so shall we move on to my next one, which is Summertime Rendering?
Got it.
You got it? Alright. So this one... Yes!
File type.
So when this first aired, it was only 2 episodes, or when we last visited this, it was only 2 episodes, now it's up to 5. It is still a must-watch. I cannot say enough good things about this. That is not the right one. Where... Oh, it's going to be all the way to the bottom. There it is. Yeah, so, luckily for me, I'm in a time loop, so I can already see this while the rest of you have to wait for it to get out of Disney jail, or move to Japan, obviously. I tried really hard not to
sail some high seas.
Yes, yeah. To get to Japan,
Loz,
obviously.
Your morality will prevent you from doing that, clearly.
Yes.
He's just sailing to Japan. It's fine. It's fine.
You are a pirate. Sorry, what? I love singing songs from childhood shows from years ago. It's the habit. They just blurt out.
It's such a good show.
Please support the official release.
Yes.
So last time I really tried not to give away any spoilers. I don't think I'm going to be able to this time. So there for Loz, who wasn't here last time, there are these shadow creatures on this island. But we don't learn about them right away. All we know is that our main character is coming here for the funeral of his childhood friend, who was he got adopted into their family when his parents died. So she's kind of more of a sister to him, but you know. And we start finding out that there are weird circumstances surrounding her death, and they're like she saw another version of herself before she died, like 3 days before she died. Ooh. And that introduces the whole idea of these shadow people who take the legend goes that they take the form of other people, and if you see them, you will die. You will be killed by them. Maybe not right away, but you will eventually be killed by them, and they will take your place.
There was a show that had a similar thing where everyone was born. Xeno might remember. Everyone's born with a double. One of them's the copy. One of them's the real person. And if the one sees the other, the copy will die.
Well, see, this doesn't...
I don't remember this at all.
Okay. Don't worry.
This is a little different in that the copy doesn't show up until, the shadow person sees you for the first time. But the stakes have been raised. Initially, I thought this was going to be kind of like Groundhog's Day, where whenever he dies, he goes right back to the start of the time loop, but he doesn't. We found out that I better go ahead and whack the spoilers up there. Every time he restarts the time loop, he starts a little further ahead. So eventually, he's going to get to a point where there is a point of no return. It is at the summer festival when the shadows plan to kill everyone and raise their quote-unquote mother. And we actually get to see that in like episode 4 and 5. It's really cool. We've now found out who the real villain is. It's not just the shadows. It's mother. We find out who.
Guy.
No. Although we do find out how he actually is doing this time. Well, we find out kind of how he's doing this time travel thing. We don't know how he got the power, but we know what the power is and where it came from initially.
Right.
Is that the point he keeps coming back to?
This was the first point. So we got to see him do this. We got to see him faceplant in Boob Lady's chest twice, but no more after that. But she is actually going to help them. Okay. In the first time loop, we got to see her die before Shinpei and his other sister Mio. So there's Ushio, who's the one that died that he came back to see, and then there's Mio, who's her little sister. So we get to see those two die in the first loop, and then Shinpei dies and restarts. But now we're in like loop 3, I think, 3 or 4, I don't remember. But he's figured out, he can't keep doing this, or else there will be a point where everybody dies, and it's no good. It got really brutal in episode 4 and 5 too. I mean, we got to see him go through some serious shit before they finally restarted the loop. It's so good. It's this whole murder mystery and the sort of mystical stuff with the shadows and the festival on this tiny little island. It's so good.
So what I'm getting is, it's a must-watch.
It is a super must-watch.
When it comes out of Disney jail.
Yes. Love it. Absolutely love everything about it.
Can we have that sound effect again?
No, can we not?
I think we need that for the most watch. It should do the stamp, then.
No.
We still need a stamp sound effect, though.
Yeah, we do.
You're not putting me on the stamp.
Right.
Maybe I can do it in post-production. Who knows?
Shall
we move on?
I think we've got me next.
Yeah. Yes.
I am going on to Don't Hurt Me, My Healer.
Ooh. All right. Good luck.
This one, okay, acquired taste at best.
At best.
But this is because, to me, the joke isn't getting old.
Really?
Yes. Anybody going into this, it isn't for everybody. Okay? You need that sense of humor. Okay, they play on the idea that our main character is genuinely just bad at his job. And they really hammer in the joke that Carla is not a healer and that she's there to cause him misery as a whole concept. That's what the series is based on, and they go into that again and again and again. But, as I say, to me, it isn't getting old. And that's because things are changing a little bit. So, for example, she can achieve some fantastic things with the powers she actually has. It genuinely pleased me to see that I'm actually seeing some character growth in Carla the healer. It's the kind of action I want to keep watching. It's never overplayed. It's just done with actions and little notes that things are changing. And everything's tinged with that absolutely infuriating way of hers. Don't get me wrong, I want to throttle that little pipsqueak dark elf for some of the things that she says and does, but I'm still finding the way things happen funny. So when she tries to enhance somebody using a spell, it's based on the concept of what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So, of course, our main character dodges it. And the person she actually hits, it enhances something completely useless. When she wants to repay kindness, somebody's been good to her and she recognizes in her own way that she's been a bad person. So to be good to her, she goes, tries to do some cooking and she uses some ingredients that are supposed to help you retain your youthful good looks and things. And no, she summons a demon, dumps all the ingredients and the person into it, and they come out younger than they were when they went in. It's
so question:
over the top.
This person that she realizes has been good to her and she's been bad to, it's not our main
character.
Oh,
no, it's one of the side characters. I'm not going to go into spoilers. It's just that's the end of what happens in that episode. Some more can happen after this. I'm not going to go into that. But you're starting to get some growth, as I said. You're starting to learn the motivation. Little things, like the reason she might actually want to be a healer in the first place. Because whatever she was before, dark summoner or black magician or whatever, she wants to be a healer because she's never actually been in a party that completed quests. That's something that comes out. Whatever in the past, she's never actually experienced proper adventuring. And so as bad as this adventuring is with our main character, it's better than what she had. So it makes me really want to see where this goes. I'm more than happy to keep our main character as the butt of all these jokes while it all happens. It's that sideline now compared to seeing the actual, growth of what this series could be. So again, you have to stress it. This show is not for everybody. The main characters will be infuriating. Okay, they'll absolutely hate the way that Carla works, and they'll hate the repeated slapstick humor and the insults. It's always a case of putting a little confidence into the main character, then tearing him back down again. But I'm just the right demographic for it, and so I hope that some of you guys are too when you actually come to watch it out there.
I mean, I'll admit that it did have humorous moments to it. It just I couldn't keep doing it.
I don't.
More power to you, though. It definitely wasn't a pass. It just I couldn't. Yeah.
No.
I think for me it was nothing special on the lower end.
I wouldn't say it's nothing special because again, I've not encountered a character that genuinely makes me want to reach through the screen, shake them.
Yeah, that's fair.
Cool. Should we move on to my next one?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Right. Okay, so the next one is Data Live Season 4. So this remains firmly in the acquired taste. I honestly wish I could give it a must-watch, but you have to watch 3 seasons in a movie before you can even start this.
Okay, but if you had watched those, it would be a must-watch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It does the original proud. They started introducing CG elements to it. And the CG is a little jank, but they're only using it where they can maximize the use out of it. They don't use it haphazardly. It's like, oh well, the way that this is framed, we might as well make this a CG character rather than actually doing hand-drawn the whole of this, because it's just a waste. So the plot stays strong. There is more growth in character development. However, there's still a lot of mystery and ambiguity behind some of the characters. We were introduced to a character, I think it was back in 2nd season. He's only made a reappearance in the 4th season, and we get more information about him. And then, just as mysteriously as he appeared in the 2nd season, he disappears after going like, "I'm gonna kick your ass." This is an old man in a wheelchair, and like he's threatening to kick your ass, and he just disappears off. I am very much enjoying this show. I don't know what else there is to add to it. I'm happy to keep watching this.
So if you dived straight into the season, how lost would you be? Extremely? Completely?
Extremely lost. It's
whole series of Lost.
The first season sets up so many fundamentals. If you could probably watch the first season and then jump to the 4th season, but you're doing yourself a disservice if you do that. The 2nd season is the weakest of the lot. But if you push through the second season and then watch the movie, the third season, and the fourth season, again, it's a good series. It's a dumb, fun series. I like the humor behind it. The main characters being developed more, exploring more of him, so on and so forth. It's a great series.
What kind of setting are we dealing with? Is it
it's
isekai? Is it okay?
No. It's slightly futuristic Japan. So it's just like tomorrow's Japan. Basically, what's happened is this is set up in the first season. The world is experiencing what's called space quakes, where there are these calamities that just go off and they take out huge areas of land. I think it says like 30 million people were killed in the first space quake, or 300
oh my gosh,
it was a crazy number. Like a lot of people died in the first space quake, and the first space quake was massive. But they noticed that there are these spirits that are coming with the space quakes, and they're trying to stop the spirits from coming in and out of existence, causing the space quakes, by romanticizing them and turning them human. And so it's a dumb, fun series.
As
if you like
opposed to
Tenchi
romance
Muyo,
game.
what?
Romanticizing, not romancing.
I meant romancing. Shut up.
Awesome,
but
romancing giant space creatures.
So wait, so they're like spirits of dead people, and they're trying to bring them back to life?
No. They're like fairies kind of things.
Oh,
right. So like they're supernatural in origin. Sort of
that
thing.
kind of spirit.
But again,
okay, all right.
Yeah, but there's like more to it and things like this.
Right.
So we're getting teased bits of information. But it's the whole series is more about the character development than the lore
The plot
of the world setting.
All right.
So it's more about the plot, the character development, but it's not like they don't just like, and here's everything. It's like if you've watched Tenchi Muyo, you know exactly what I'm talking about,
right?
Because like you get told about the history of Ryoko attacking Jirai. You get told about Washu's the universe's greatest genius, but you don't actually get shown any of it.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So
interesting.
Loz,
from someone who has seen season 1, I think most of season 2, if not all of season 2, I can't remember. Do they actually progress towards stopping or preventing space quakes and dealing with the whole root of the problem, or does it just continue being a reason to introduce more girls?
No, they haven't actually highlighted what's causing it, right? So it's they have
introduce more girls and date them.
Yeah. It's a gacha, Loz. It's a gacha world. You gotta collect all your waifus.
Yeah, he's definitely doing that. Definitely a collection.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you need something like nice and easy like that to just
Right, should we move on to Loz's next one?
Sure.
Komi
can't communicate. I'm gonna give Komi an Acquired Taste.
Really?
Yep. Only because it's season 2.
Right,
I'm trying to be fair. I've obviously from season 1 stuff. I have read the manga through many times, and I've still been keeping up with it for ages now. I really think it's great and a must-watch, but I want to say, because it's season 2, it's Acquired Taste. Also, because I know that if we bloody get... This is the second half of the first year of their school life. It's the manga is only going to be over 3 years, so obviously the 3 years they're at school. The second year is so much more interesting. So it's just annoying watching it drag the feet with this stuff in season... so this second half is a season, and it's like getting to year 2, it'll be so much better. It really will be. It should be really cool. I don't know.
But on the plus side, we got what's his name? Kenta?
Katai-kun.
Yes, Katai.
Yes, he is. He is one of the greatest.
He is a highlight
in here. So it's not really a spoiler. How can you spoil this?
Yeah, it's not a spoiler. It's like the first second
this
episode or something.
This is a guy in Japan. Obviously, everyone's quite small. He is tall. He's, I think, nearly 6 foot. Yeah. And he is obviously, puberty has hit him like a truck. He's got a deep voice. But inside, he's just an insecure teenager, just like everyone else. So you've got the outside voice of him.
Yeah, didn't he like start out as a nerd and then he did something to end up getting all buff and now it's so he's still this insecure nerdy guy in but on the outside he looks like your typical juvenile delinquent from anime.
Because he dyed his hair and he's
got that band-aid on his nose and
Well, he wanted like with our main character to Dano, he did want to reinvent himself for high school. So he dyed his hair, as you say. He obviously had a growth spurt. And at the same time, he's also just exercising lots. Super buff.
Because his sister's crazy.
Oh, there's more. No, it's more than that. It's not really a spoiler, but his parents own a martial arts dojo. They don't really much, but just as thing, just to show that's why he's super buff. But as I say, he's just and so he didn't used to make friends very well, so he's trying to do it. And I love the misunderstandings of some of the guests.
I mean, look at that face. You could be thinking anything, that face.
Yes. Probably about rainbows. Oh, no.
What was that? Yeah. She was still thinking about the rainbow. Yes,
she's still thinking about that. It's like, what is Komi thinking about now? Oh, she's thinking about the next cooking step. No, she's still thinking about the rainbow she missed earlier. Yeah. Some good stuff. Under some, I know where I probably know what one of the main things, and might be over 2 episodes or at least one whole episode coming up for the second half of this season, which will be good. But I seriously see this is why it's hard for me to do this one, because I love the show. Oh, Najimi is definitely a brilliant.
Always great.
Always great. Is the video game in this season? I can't remember if they play video games again in this season.
Yeah.
Was it twice or once in this season?
It's just once so far.
Just once.
I thought they did it once. I thought they did it once in last season, once in this season.
Okay, yeah. So Also, as it keeps popping up here, I just want to give special credit to this outro.
Oh God, yes.
I think we watch every week. I think it's recorded footage of actors, then rotoscope.
That's what we've. Yeah, I think we said that last episode too.
It's perfectly done, and it's pixel art as well, which makes it really hard to do in this, because they've rotoscoped pixel art onto real actors.
Yeah,
and
there's just something about the movement of them that makes it feel like they are definitely real people that have been.
But at the same time, they're cartoons, but they've got the weight of movement.
They did make it easier on themselves by lowering the frames per second.
But that actually adds to the effect, I think.
Yes, I agree.
It all comes together. It's an amazing outro. I think at the end of the year, we're going to have to give this as a medal for an outro. The song's also pretty good as well. Yeah. But just watching it is brilliant. I'm just going to give a special mention for anyone who is watching this show. I loved how the last episode ended with like a special note for a character which is coming next episode.
Oh God, yes!
I'm waiting so much for this character. The little trickle bits of this character they've seen so far, they just almost revulsion, and I've never seen.
Oh, I'm fine with him. Zeno's the one that really hates him. Cannot stand him.
He doesn't even know his name. Hasn't heard him say a word yet, and I
couldn't give a fuck. He's in the intro. He sits on the fucking car. Oh, you can help move shit. No, he's gonna fucking be a lazy piece of shit and fucking.
He looks like a prima donna. Yeah. In real life,
fucking hate him.
In real life, I'd probably hate that person, but we'll see.
We'll see. We also had the cat stuff, which was well done.
Yes. But
so I do like this. I do want to keep it, although on Acquired Taste, because it is now in season 2, and I do feel you would.
But like high end of Acquired Taste.
Yeah, well, you could probably watch episode 1 of season 1 and then jump to anywhere from there, probably. But I do want to keep it. Yeah, it's only, and the only reason I'm trying not to play favorites on that one, because I've read the manga through so many times. So that's why I think I polled the rest of the team here, and I think 2 out of 3 gave it a must watch still. But I just want to be.
I hear you.
But I hear you. It's must watch. That's Acquired Taste. It's still very good. I just want to say the animation quality is also great. It is. I mean, there we go. Just the
that guy. Oh,
it is really good. The music's good. The characters are good.
So we've actually had a number of series that are trying to basically rip off Komi, and I think they're in production at the same time. So it's hard to say that they were genuinely trying to do that. But my question to you is, do you know how Japan is receiving this series? Are they liking it, and do you think there would be a second season? Because this is, in English, this is considered part 2, even though the Japanese have labeled it season 2. Do you think there's going to be more after this season?
I remember seeing a YouTuber did actually go through Japanese assessments of what did they feel of season 1, how did they feel about it. And it was interesting. They were saying things like, "What the hell is the thing on Tadano's head?"
It's a starfish.
To be like, it's just Japanese art or whatever. But they were actually questioning it. I do think people were liking it, but I'm not sure if it's. I don't. So if they're going to do all 3 years, and there is a lot more chapters in year 2 as well. I don't remember the exact numbers, but I think year 3 is around like 300. And so I think maybe it's about 120 in year 2. If we do get the year, I think if we get the next season, if we get the first half of year 2, it might actually be enough to get the second half of year 2. And then it depends. I think if we got into the second year, it might continue.
Cool.
But I do feel this one's a bit of a lull. But
should we move on to the next one then?
Oh yeah. I think there's one that Cena and I have watched. Have you watched this, Thaylien? The Executioner in Her Ways?
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
No, I mean,
I did recommend this to you.
Don't remember what I gave it.
I had to watch AIM.
Oh, right. I gave it an acquired taste. That's right. Yeah. Because it is really good, but I've got a few reservations, and I think people are unfamiliar with the genre might not want to dive in to this one. Even though it is, because it's kind of a twist on the normal isekai. So if you're not even familiar with isekais, you may not get what's going on here. I don't know.
Okay, if you're not familiar with isekai, you have not been watching anime for like the last 10 years.
That's true. But it is definitely on the high end of acquired taste. It's just about to a must watch. I just have a couple of little problems. I'm a little worried now that they've defeated their first big threat. It's gonna kind of go into this typical fantasy isekai, because we're already seeing bits of that where the whole "I'm going to kill Akari" thing before she can go out of control is gonna become sort of like I can't die to anyone else. We're a pair. We're gonna be together till the end. We're gonna fix everything.
Okay, so whack the spoilers on.
Okay.
Because I feel that let's not beat around the bush. So the whole premise is that Menno is supposed to kill.
This
Akari.
is Menno and this is Akari.
Right. So Menno is from the world setting Akari has been isekai'd in.
Mm-hmm.
But Menno can't kill Akari because her superpower as an isekai character is the pure concept of time.
Yeah.
So every single time she is killed, she naturally rewinds time back to just before she's killed. So they can't actually kill her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not actually her doing it, it's her future self doing it, which is a whole other can of worms.
Yes. So basically she has set herself up, her future self, who was failed to be murdered before, has set up all these special rules and conditions to protect her younger self, to make sure that the timeline effectively goes in a certain way so that Menno can actually kill Akari and not die to her.
Or be killed by Flare. Because remember, we saw that flash forward where Flare was coming
into that much detail, but right. So
again, I don't think she actually wants Akari to kill her. I think she just doesn't want to die to anyone else. If anyone's going to kill her, it's going to be Akari. But she doesn't actually want. I'm sorry. Yes. If anyone's going to kill Akari, it's going to be Menno. But she doesn't actually want Menno to kill her. That's the feeling I get anyway. I also kind of feel like they're still setting up a few rules as they go along, like Menno, Menno being able to just borrow her pure concept. Let me just touch you and I can use your time powers.
What?
Yeah.
Well, that's the whole point, though, isn't it? Because that's the whole reason why the nobility are pulling people in, because they want to be able to abuse the person and use their powers.
Yeah, but that's never said that we want to borrow your powers. It seemed more like they want to make them use their powers, not borrow their power the way that Menno did. That's my own personal thing. I did, however, like when the princess, whose name I can't remember, literally turned into an Elden Ring boss and her sword became massive and sliced down the castle. Fucking hilarious. Just amazing.
Do we need to keep the spoilers on?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's basically it. I'm a little worried that it's going to go from, we've got to deal with these people who are coming from another world to traditional fantasy isekai destroying the corruption in this world.
I personally am enjoying it.
I'm still enjoying it. Oh god, yeah.
I feel it's more gonna turn into a come on, little Timmy, you need to put the dog down. It's your responsibility. And then little Timmy can't do it anymore. But it's potentially going to uproot corruption. It's going to show a different side that not everyone with pure concepts is bad. I'm enjoying. The only thing I'm not enjoying is the fact that it feels like every episode is actually split in two, right?
Yeah.
So you watch one week and then you have to watch the next week to see the conclusion. It feels kind of like
okay, yeah.
So it's like
they're supposed to be hour-long shows rather than half-hour-long shows. I can see that.
But I am still very much enjoying it.
I think the thing I like the least right now is Momo. I can't stand that little yandere.
No, I like her as well.
That little yandere freak.
She's not yandere.
She totally is.
No, she isn't, because she's not threatening anyone with like.
Oh, she would totally kill Akari. I'm gonna murder you. She would totally kill Akari for being in love with Mono.
Let's not derail. Anyway.
Remember, yandere doesn't necessarily mean she's going to kill anybody, but it does mean that she'd happily lock the person up in a little dungeon so they can keep them forever.
That's true.
Should we move on to the next one?
Yes.
Yeah. So
this would be me, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. With me stealing Loz's script for a bit.
Yes, the show I mixed them up.
Okay, so this is I'm Quitting Heroing, and it's a card taste, but it's...
Oh, I don't know why I hit that. Oh, now it's all messed up.
It's everything to everyone.
It's an acquired taste, but building to a must-watch. So the double stake could be right.
Yeah.
Okay. I was starting to doubt this show after the way people reacted to it at the three episode mark, where the character was just, getting things done, making changes, and with some of them just being too convenient, like the Wolf Girl coming up with his same plan, seemingly out of nowhere. Okay, but then they switched the goalposts on me, especially with the last episode. They raised a point that I hadn't considered in the slightest. I should have, but I hadn't considered it. The hero could destroy the demon army, defeat the demon queen and all her generals, and his people just threw him out for being powerful. He went to the Demon Queen to work for her because he wanted to bring ruin to humanity, and why? If he's that strong, he could just get revenge at any time. He could destroy humanity as easily as he destroyed the demons, easier. So it was all a lie, that bit. So this is coming off the back of an episode that detailed what the motivations were for other characters, like the Demon Queen, and being followed by... they actually fully explain Hero Leo's backstory. And it really shifted this into a different expectation for me about what this show's about. The show isn't about a guy showing his back on humanity and joining the demons to help them rule the world. It's about freedom. It's about expectations, how they weigh you down. Even the strongest among us we're all given weights to carry, and being able to free yourself of those weights and choose whether to pick them up again or leave them alone. How that's important to people.
Okay, that is actually fair. Yeah, that is actually fair.
So it's who people really are inside, how perceptions and expectations of each other can truly, bind us into a role. A demon queen can be focused on saving her people instead of defeating enemies. A cool-headed, collected person may be completely overwhelmed on the inside. A happy-go-lucky goofball can be a considerate leader. And a stoic assassin can just really be just a teenager in pain waiting to find a way to reach out. We're going to see
really
more
just be a sad femboy.
Yes. We're going to see more of this moving forward. I really want to see how they express more of these situations. Everyone has their own troubles, and I'm glad that our hero wasn't confined to just being this practical, I'm going to solve your problems by doing X, Y, and Z. He's actually helping people where they need it, not just by doing stuff. He's showing an interest. And his backstory, when they show us through that, he tells the story. It just
take a whole episode.
They take a whole episode to do that. And it shows that he's out to help people for who they are, not what they are. So if this series continues on the upward trend that I've seen so far, it'll be a must-watch before the final episode.
I would have said the last episode would have shifted it for me to a must-watch, because it felt like it was falling to a trope of, he's just winning everyone over. What's the task of the week to finish? He's just so good at helping people. That's just so good. And they just went, all of that was switched because of
and when you break it down, it still technically is. Except, they took a whole episode out to talk about the motivations of the Demon Queen without actually even, really accomplishing anything there.
It was just him trying to get through to dinner.
Yes. At the same time, it kind of foreshadowed the next episode where, you see he's got ways of thinking and skills that come from a different time, different period, different thing. When he did it, the first time I thought it was building up to a bit of an isekai, but it didn't. It went a different way completely. And again, it just it switched the goalposts. It switched what my expectations were for this show in the first place. So, gotta say, it's actually building up. And that's all I've got to say on it for now. We'll have to see when it gets to episode 12.
Yes. Yep, I agree with that. It's developed. It flipped the depth meter from mid to shallow to mid, down to pure mid to potentially, look, we might be seeing some good depths there, but will we be able to plumb those depths and find some deeper stuff is the question.
Will they dress more femboys up as maids?
Yes. I think my only problem with it. I think my only problem with it so far is that it's been a little, like, I called the whole, the demons aren't really the bad guys, and he's from this different era, and I called all of that before it happened.
Wait, how can you not call it? He's the hero joined the demons.
Yeah,
it's in the bloody title.
Yeah, but he did it to destroy the humans, or so he said.
If do you know? I mean,
first episode.
I'd be shocked. That show would also be interesting to watch. Actually, the hero actually wants to join the bad guys, and the bad guys still actually being bad.
Yes, that's what I was kind of hoping for.
Still, I was expecting that, and
I knew it wasn't going to be that way as soon as we started talking to them.
The way they played it, though, I was expecting it, and I think I was expecting to be disappointed by it. Now that they flipped it to the
Oh yeah, no, it's still interesting.
I'm expecting
it's just
to be
a tiny little bit predictable.
Well,
that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
I get what you're saying, that's because we always get the hero's journey, and they flipped it to make the villains sort of the heroes in a way, and villains
and the humans are the actual bad guys because they're all mean and bigoted and blah.
But we don't often get villains being explored as villains, not being made sympathetic, but also not being made shallow and cackling evil, but still explored as villains with their own motivations. Doesn't have to be, their own goals to do it. They don't have to be ones that you can appreciate and agree with, but at least you can understand why they're doing it. And something that doesn't get investigated much. But for my example, sorry, I just want to go on it. It's like Star Wars. Why can't we have some piece of media which explores the Imperials and make them more than just cackling villains?
Yeah, like to make them actually think they're doing this for the right reasons.
Because Nazi parallels.
No, but even with the Nazis, not every single Nazi was there's still going to be for the Empire. It would be that there's going to be some outlying place where there's some people who have been recruited into the Empire because that's what their city is, and they're just there doing a job. And there was evil, want to kill children.
Unfortunately, before you jump in, unfortunately, I think that they tried to do that already, Loz.
Yeah, what you can do?
Episodes 7, 8, and 9.
No.
They tried and they failed. They tried to make a sympathetic stormtrooper, and they failed.
I actually have a better example. I have a better example from Star Wars Visions. Was it Lopen Olo or something like that?
Yes.
Ocho.
Ocho.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was because she thought she was doing it to make her people, to make a better life for her people. That's why she thought she was doing it.
But I think Xeno's going to stop us here, and we should move on. So
Yeah,
that'd be interesting discussion to have another time about exploring. That might be a topic, exploring. Villains, so we'll have to have it another time.
Yeah.
I wasn't, but okay.
Oh,
Okay. I thought you were being the mature, responsible.
No, it's fine. I want to talk about.
Xeno's turn to give us a stern look.
That's what I thought I was going to do.
Let's move on to Spy Family.
Oh, good old Spy
Right.
Family.
Oh, that's what really you wanted to do. Talk about
Why? It's timer, man.
Oh, timer.
Spy Family doesn't get a
No,
timer.
we're gonna
Spy
talk about this for
Family
the
has
rest of
all
the
time in
show.
world.
I love how you've got your mouse just sat hovered over must watch. How do you know I'm going to give it a must watch?
I can't imagine.
You just fucking pressed the button. You didn't even wait for me to say it.
You just
I didn't
know you.
Punch
It is.
If you did,
It
give
is.
it a must watch.
It is a must watch. I mean, I'll be honest, because I know that the series is not gonna come to a conclusion. It does kind of frustrate me a bit because a lot of narrative is heavily tied on the importance of this mission succeeding. And, you know, both you and MDRLOz think that it's not even going to get like halfway kind of thing. And it's... What? You think it's just going to get to the uncle and that's it?
No, no. I meant halfway. No, I don't think. I don't, based on the current stuff, I think we're going to do about a tenth of it.
Yeah.
Wait,
so
have you already
it's
read
a bit-
the manga?
Oh yeah.
Well, the manga's
yeah.
not finished yet.
Yeah, the manga's not finished yet. Yeah.
But you've
It's
already
like
read.
Komi.
You've already read as much as there is.
He has, I
I-
haven't.
Okay.
Mostly. But yeah, no. There's unless they start, they could cut out some arcs though.
Potentially.
But then at the same time, I know. Sorry to give it to you, but they also have done a really good of expanding like a tiny bit in the manga into a full episode.
Yes.
So they
and
are
that
not
was
looking to go quick.
fantastic. Yeah. So, I think there is a potential for this to be the next Attack on Titan.
Oh God.
But my concern is that because the manga hasn't finished, they're going to stall and fail, right? It might be several years before we see season 2, just so that they have enough room to get to a much further ahead. What?
I'll you keep talking.
Yeah. So I am enjoying it. I love the animation art style. I love the performances in this. I love the intro and outro and everything. It does get to a bit now with episodes 7. And God, I really hope they only keep it to one episode where they focus on Anya being in school. When I read that in the manga, that nearly stopped me continuing reading the manga. I didn't like it, right? I wanted the narrative to be about the whole family. But that part of the manga, it's a very small part. It's like one volume of the manga. It does exclude both Yor and pretty much Lloyd, right? He's in the background, but still.
I'm all right with that if Lloyd and Yor also get their times to shine, you know, in a solo sort of thing. But
I don't.
Oh.
But
Well then.
Which
they
bit you
do.
talking about in the manga?
Well, like
Spoiler tab.
no. It's where they are now in the anime.
Where she's just getting into
Anya's
school.
first classes.
Yeah.
There's definitely more stuff with the school. If you think this was spending time at school, there's still deeper stuff with school. The school's such a pivotal thing of it.
I know, I get that, but it just felt like
But
all
look
of a
at
sudden
her.
in the manga, it just changed gear and it was just about Anya. And it's like, hold on, this is supposed to be a collaborative effort. Why? I think Thalien's trying to get my attention. What?
I'm not trying to get your attention. I'm saying, look at this, though. This is precious.
Yeah.
It is. It is very precious. But regardless of that, so I am enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun with it. When an episode comes out, I stop what I'm doing to watch it. Everything.
Yeah.
It's excellently animated. Wit Studio and Cloverworks have done a phenomenal job. I hope that they're able to continue working together with later projects and later seasons of Spy Family. It is a must watch. I do hope it gets continued but done right.
I just want to so I wanted to check this up. So we've had 6 episodes.
Yes.
Mhm.
That covers the first 8 chapters of the manga. So it's almost 1 for 1.
Yeah.
We have 62.2 chapters of the manga out.
Oh wow, okay. So we could actually have a few years of story.
Yes, they would
If
not
they-
need to wait.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't read. I think I did read a bit, and then I stalled, and I've tried to. I'm halfway through reading this. I think about, but I still got loads. They still haven't achieved much.
Okay,
But
fine,
there's-
fair
yeah.
enough. There's still loads more. Okay, fine. Then I've barely scratched it. But even so, it's. I just don't want that dynamic lost between
Mhm.
your Anya and Lloyd.
It'd be nice
Right.
to have Anya doing
Always-
stuff in school, and then Lloyd working in the background or something, and then
No,
occasionally Anya gets in trouble.
no.
and...
No. I'm talking about things like maybe Yor comes in to substitute in for the school.
Oh, yeah,
and
okay,
stuff
yeah.
like that. It's because I can very much I know that Lloyd has a presence in the school. He hides in the school, right? But
He is a master spy.
yeah, but Yor, right, during those chapters when I read in the manga, Yor just ceases to exist. Right? That's the thing I don't like.
No, we need that balance of the assassin.
The other elements of the world just cease to exist.
Because we
while
know
Anya's at school.
what Lloyd's, his organization. We know who they are and what they're doing. We don't know anything about Yor's organization, and I'd love to explore that more.
Indeed. I don't know if Loz can confirm.
Well, you get a bit more. It's a different thing. Obviously, Lloyd's working for the government, the government,
Right? Yeah.
government spies.
Yeah.
Yor is working for patriotic people, but are not part of the government.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's leads to some interesting stuff, as Xeno
Later.
said with her brother.
There is only one thing I want to add to this, and it's when Xeno mentioned that it's going to take a long time before it gets anywhere near conclusion.
Yeah.
But remember what the original thing was when we were first introduced to Twilight the Spy, right? It's a Cold War, and the thing that he was intercepting was proof that one of the politicians wears a toupee.
Yeah.
I don't think that at the end of this we're going to get an actual, any kind of serious kind of thing. Okay, I think that the Cold War is too, it's too bland. It's a little bit small scale for the spying.
But
yes,
even
there's
if it
assassinations
is,
going on, but
even if it is like, after all this effort, he's finding his mum's secret recipe to chili con carne, right? It's like, it doesn't matter. The point is that, look at how people are reacting to Attack on Titan. There are people saying, I can't be fucked to continue watching it. There are people saying that I can't be fucked to start it, right? Because of how it's been playing out and things. And
but that one plays it serious and straight from the start, and I wouldn't say Spy Family really does. I mean, it does.
No.
But it's also got tons of humor.
It doesn't matter. It's all about how it continues, right? Look how many people. I mean, a lot of people still watch things like Family Guy and The Simpsons, but it's the same thing every single damn time, right? And there are people that come and go. People watch some seasons of Family Guy and right, I'm done. I don't need to watch anymore because it's all the same. Anyway, I'm happy to move on to Loz's last one. Is Loz happy to move on to Loz's last one?
I love Spy Family. It's so good.
I think we all do.
I think we're only going to probably get one season and then maybe a few OVAs, and it's just going to push people towards the manga. If you love the story so much, read the manga.
Sure.
I think it's the better thing of it.
Yeah.
It's going to be too long. Can you name a season that's not a shonen thing, which has gone for 3 or 4 seasons like that?
Lupin?
I'll give you Lupin, but that's kind of historic at this point, isn't it? It's long running. One that started as just a small thing, and that's why the interesting thing. I started reading Komi, Spy X Family, and this one, Love After World Domination. This one coming out, I feel quite slowly. So I'm shocked. This is one that don't
Days
expect
of
multiple
Life?
seasons of.
Literally on its 4th season.
Yeah, I'll give you Day Alive. Yeah.
High School Double
Anyway.
D.
let's go for Love After World Domination, because this is the trifecta of ones. I started reading Komi, I started reading Spike's Family, and I started reading this. And this, definitely, if you want to talk about release schedule, this was the slowest. I'm not actually that far ahead of the manga because of it. But I want to give this a must watch. I really do. I love it. It's so good. So we have a Romeo and Juliet style thing with Super Sentai as the backdrop. That's what we have here, if you haven't explained it before. And it is just lovely. I just enjoy it. This obviously you don't need to watch anything pre-start of it. You almost can drop into almost any episode. Just understanding the concepts. We've got the main leader, the red
Gelato.
Sentai
Ranger?
Gelato. I was going to say Ranger, but it's
Trooper?
Gelato
Trooper.
5. And they're all flavoured. It's brilliant. So the strawberry and lemon and oh god, I can't remember what the other ones are. A blueberry, I think. And they're all flavoured. And when they do their changes, they have to say the flavour.
I swear, blue and green are like really fucking weird ones.
Yeah, they are.
Green is kiwi, blue is like.
Yeah, and I
Maybe
think
like sherbet or something. They're like the weird.
I think pink was peach or something. I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
But that's all just the backdrop. Even the fighting when they come out and they fight the
The bad guys.
Mooks? Is mooks the term? I don't know. What's the term for generic trash?
Sure.
Goons, mooks,
Trash.
yeah.
Goons? Yeah, whatever.
Puttymen.
The putties. The putties,
The putties.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yes.
It's just the backdrop of these two. Then we got our main like God, I know it's just Power Rangers and I know it thing, but some people know our Goldar-esque character, the character which turns up every time, isn't the flavor of the week, and is like the leader of the enemy. And that's what our female protagonist is there. She's that character, the sort of leader of the enemy troops, pretty much. And then we have our Red being our leader of Power Rangers. This whole show is based on his simple-minded way of doing things. He just all he cared about was getting stronger, and so people tell him things, and he will interpret that in the most straightforward way of doing things, and it ends up to him confessing to the main villain, or the villain of the troops there, who's the female protagonist, and then who has never experienced anything to do with love or thought she could be loved, and so they sort of start going out, and she's also just as simple.
Dim-witted?
Let's just say no, simple.
Sure.
They're just simple. They're not dim-witted. They're clever people.
Yeah.
Single-minded.
But they're just simple.
It takes a good deal of cleverness to be as simple as they are sometimes.
Yes, it does, yeah. And it just, the hijinks every week is just lovely. It's just fun. It's just silly hijinks and is just a laugh a minute. I just puts a smile on my face every time I'm watching an episode. I really look forward to an episode each week, and even though I think I'm almost at, I'm tempted to read ahead of the manga. I know a little bit more, but it's still fun. It's watching it. I do feel the animation isn't as high budget as it could be, but then I think the source material is trying to be true to the source material. Like, you see their faces there, quite simple faces. So that's my only criticism of it. It does feel a bit.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen those faces before.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
But it's not a detriment to it. It's not done poorly. It's just that's all there is, I think. And yeah, it's just fun. Voice acting is fine. The way it's interpreted is great. But don't expect it to reshape the world for you, but it is just good fun. Yep.
It is fun. It's very good fun. And one thing to add on to what Lozzie said, I really love the exploration of her character, because the majority of the time with Super Sentai shows and things, or the American adaptations, they don't truly explore the villains. Not, hey, here's the villains. The villains are having a conversation, they're having a meeting about how to be villains. We're talking about
how this
the
week
daily
they
life.
will be villains and will torment the heroes this week
They-
with their new plan.
They talk about the daily lives and things like this. They go to the canteen. They sit down and have food and things. They talk about their own personal
Miss
interests.
Kurotsu, but a little more serious.
No, I'd say just as serious as Miss Kurotsu.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
all right.
it's great, and I love learning more about our Reaper Princess, who's the Goldar of this duo. And it's brilliant. I freaking love it. It's great. Again, another one I put down whatever I'm doing just to watch.
Yep.
So cool.
I don't think there's any spoilers to spoiler about it. It's just it just explores the characters and they're just developing as they
the jokes
come of
are
age
like,
and just
yeah.
joke. Yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
I got to say, I just so good. Just watch it.
Right,
Enjoy
should we move on to Nasuth?
I don't really want to. Do we have to?
Yes, we have.
I'll
to.
do it if you don't.
Oh no!
I'll do it if you don't.
I'll do it, but you two
I'll
feel free
do
to
it
jump
later.
in and yell about things too. So this is Rising of the Shield Hero, and I have given it an acquired taste, but it is on the very low end because they took a really interesting show about a really interesting group of characters and have turned it into a relatively generic standard fantasy isekai, and it really disappoints me. I'm still giving it an acquired taste though because it does have that goodwill. I'm hoping they can take it to a good place. I don't completely hate it yet, but it's getting there. It's getting there quick.
Can I say something?
Go for it. Should we whack spoilers on from the start or
No. I'm not ready to. Right. Okay.
not ready? Okay.
If you haven't started this, don't.
Yeah.
Just don't. I watched the 6th episode and I fucking hated it.
Watch the first episode and just stop there. Our first season and just stop there.
Yeah, just watch the first season and stop there. Like, I genuinely called Loz and just, I was like, Loz, have you seen it yet? No, not yet. Call me when you have. And I fucking went off on one.
See, it didn't really bother me until they started wasting a bunch of time with like Rishia and well, I say wasting a bunch of time, but also rushing things. It's really weird. So like Rishia and Ost have the same conversation 3 times. I swear.
Yep.
And they have to keep jumping through these hoops to kill the turtle. And it's like, oh, you did this. Oh, but now you have to do this that I didn't tell you about. Oh, but now you have to do
Jumping through turtles to do hoops.
Yeah,
But now my memories have come back. Finally, I realised that what we needed to do was this, followed by this. And if you don't do this simultaneously, it'll do this.
You should have killed me from the start. Yeah. Naofumi started the season pretty proactively, but by the end, he felt like a vehicle for every single other character but himself. And his breakdown over Ost's spoiler. His breakdown over Ost's death felt just he didn't even know her. Why would he care?
Yeah.
I mean, I know he's a good person deep down and all, but why would he give a shit about this person who he doesn't know?
Loz and I spoke about it. They spent 2 days together.
Yeah.
Well, first you thought it was 3. Just one day.
I did think it was just one day.
And then I'm like, oh, hang on a minute. We had that nighttime thing, so we're probably at about 3, maybe.
Yeah.
2 days.
And I mean, I get that part of Naofumi's shtick is taking care of protecting the people that he doesn't necessarily know. But this was just.
But we've also seen that he can be a cynical bastard.
Yeah.
You know?
And then they had the chance for him to be forced to make the difficult choice to either kill Ost or kill Ost or let the world burn, essentially. And they take that, they like, oh, he can't kill her, so they just take it away from him and give him a level up instead. And it's like it would have been so much more interesting to see him have to struggle with having killed Ost if he's gonna end up liking her anyway. And the villain stuff is yeah.
It is so obvious that they have turned 12 episodes of content
into 6.
Yeah,
that's possible.
They have horribly rushed it. I get the first episode. So we're in spoiler territory.
Yep, go for it.
So, right. In episode 6, you see the other 3 cardinal heroes captured. The sword, the bow, and the spear heroes. They have been captured. I swear, in the first episode, it said that they weren't going to deal with it.
Yeah, right? But then I think they said they also did go and deal with them and disappeared.
Yes, but it was said. It was spoken.
Yeah, we never saw it. Right? Yeah, we never actually got to see any of that.
In this first season, we actually saw bow hero and sword hero go and do their own investigation of what the fuck was going on with the church, right? It was just like, yeah, these 3 didn't do anything. Where the fuck did they get there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
I think they tried to play it off like they did with other ones where they said, we're just not going to team up with you and we're going to go off and do it ourselves. You know, and they tried to play it off like that, but they never specified it. They never actually went through and showed, instead of just assuming we knew what they meant.
Like Raftalia and
Risha.
No, Raftalia and Philo's time.
Oh yes,
is right. You know, there's stuff with Vittoria that ends up fighting the spirit tortoise, and it's like that should have been a fucking episode in and of itself, but no, it was smushed into the sixth. They fucking rushed this. I don't know if they're just trying to move on to
something bigger,
the next arc, or Kadakawa's just gone, nah, we want to smash this out really quickly, and you know, we're only giving you 12 episodes, or if the directors just decided, nah, fuck it, this is the pacing we're going for. I honestly have no idea.
I mean, I was so willing to give them. I didn't really feel like it was too rushed in the first 3. I didn't feel like I was lost, but the second 3, definitely, I get what you're talking about now. I see it.
Yeah, I haven't said much on this because I realise we've gone over 5 minutes now, and if I start talking, we're going to go over 15 minutes. And what I'm going to say is I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt from now, and it can have the next 6 episodes. And I'm tempted to say, if it continues on like this, we're probably going to. I think I'll push to have a whole episode of this Kanpai Cast where we break down what the hell went wrong.
What the hell went wrong?
And one thing to support us while we're going through it, I'm Nasuth will probably join. I know me and Xeno will watch it, but Nasuth maybe as well. There's this channel called Ani News, very good channel, great anime stuff. And one of the great things they do is they compare the manga to the show. So they show you what was skipped content or how something went down in the manga. And I watched the first episode, I think 2 episodes into this Shield Hero season, and there was some really cool stuff that I have no idea why they skipped. Really cool stuff, and they're clearly trying to rush. I'm hoping, and this is the benefit of the doubt, the last point I'll say is that I'm hoping what they're trying to do is they looked at the Tortoise arc and they thought, you know what?
This is shit.
Let's skip this.
Yeah.
We need to get through as quick as possible because this other arc is going to be really cool and it's going to set up something which will continue not just to episode 12 but beyond, and that's going to be really cool. We don't really want to get bogged down as Turtle. How do we get past it really quickly? I'm giving them benefit of the doubt on that, and I love the first 20 odd episodes, first season.
Yeah.
I don't know how you call it. Love it. I've watched it at least 10 times through, if not, and then the random episodes, loads more individually, bits and pieces about, which the whole thing at least 10 times through from start to finish. This is awful, and so I'm going to give it on the next 6 seasons, and we'll see this at the end. And I personally think if it doesn't, we're going to use the cut content. We're going to make a whole episode of it because it is just how to have all the potential and goodwill in the world and just burn it,
just fuck it up.
That's what it's done so far.
Fuck it up. Yeah.
And if there's no good reason for it, if the next 6 episodes don't pay off, then that's it.
Right.
So we'll be coming back to this one. Oh, we will.
Oh, we will.
Right. Let's move on.
To something so much better.
I'm going to finish mine on the high note, of course, with Skeleton Knight in Another World.
Yes.
Yes.
This is a must-watch. Straight on there. Yep. But it's an isekai that's still continuing to do right. Our powerful main character is still able to overpower the resistance he's been getting. But it had it proved to us now on this that he's got room to grow.
Yes, I was hoping you were going to pick on that. Yes,
he's got experiences still to have. He's not the most powerful person out there, at least in not some ways.
No, it's more than that. He showed that. No. The particular thing was, you can't just use stats to brute force everything.
Yes, exactly. His stats don't dictate everything. They make him powerful. They don't make him the most powerful. So I'm really impressed they've gone so far as to, prove that even his own fake personal motivations are becoming real motivations. Okay, so many of these shows just hand wave away the personal motivations. For example, in the Land of Leadale, that ended up being pure fluff because the motivation of the characters they set for themselves got sidelined completely compared to the bits of showing off and exploring the world. But Ark here had no motivation for being there when the show started. He was presented with an opportunity to help people. They were clearly in trouble and he helped them. He's basically just a normal guy with normal morals.
He just wants to have a fantasy adventure at this point.
He's been given power and it hasn't corrupted him. But at this mark, the 6th episode, he's now learned that actually is something to work for beyond just helping people. He's got a personal motivation as well as a moral motivation. His desire to help, I think that's the other way of putting it, is his desire to help people has resulted in somebody else wanting to help him with a problem that he didn't realise could be solved. Now that it can be solved, he has these twofold reasons to go adventuring. And it's adding those layers to the character. So it's impressive enough to actually develop a character in any kind of isekai. But the low bar that others set shouldn't take away from what they're doing here. And here it's not a matter of them rolling back another curtain saying, and now we reveal yet another power the main character had from the beginning. The show outright says he has all these powers. And it even goes to the point of saying, oh, I've got way more powers than I thought I would, because all the things I did in my game actually now compound rather than getting replaced. But they're building him up as a character now. They've already given him power. Now they've actually got to give him, reasons to use it.
Unlike Overlord, he's actually a real person with real motivations.
Yes.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
It's such a nice change of pace. And even like relationships, like you see him getting that little bit jealous when he realizes that they're meeting a male elf instead of a female elf, and so on. And I won't deny, there's the fan service is nice in it as well. It's limited.
There's a little bit of fan service.
Yes, so definitely people out there, give the show a watch. It's funny. It actually made me emotional a little bit at one point. Ark helped free one of the elves, and she actually started crying, and I was like, oh god, I'm going to start crying if that little woman cries. And the characters just work well together so far. It's funny, it's quick, and it's taking
but it's
a
not
route
too
that's different
quick.
from the normal.
Like it gives things time to breathe when they need it.
And little moments like because he is a skeleton knight, and he's now found that he is safe to take off his helmet around certain people that now trust it. So we get that fantastic scene of him waking up in bed, and his little spirit fox companion is sleeping inside his ribcage.
It's so cute. Oh, I love Ponta.
Yes. And there's little moments of humanity in everyone. So our dear elf girl is trying to be reserved, but then seeing Ponta lying on her back like fluff to the heavens, and then Ark comes back and she's going, "Oh, you're fluffy. Oh, you're fluffy.
Don't worry, Ponta. I'll partake of your fluffiness later."
Just to highlight, we do utterly love this series. It is really, really good. But there are scenes of
violence, sexual violence.
Let's be clear with that.
Sexual violence.
And a lot of heavily implied things as well. They may not show, but there is a lot of threat, shall we say.
Yes. Our heroes are there to rescue them.
I do also like, there's sort of this, I think it was in episode 3, we got to see the royals and how they were, dealing with this whole situation. Was it 3 or 4?
It's 4, I think.
But we got to see like the king and the 2 princes and the princess.
That's 4.
That's 4.
I like to think that plot is eventually going to meet up with these guys.
Setting up a plot to say
there's more going on here than just Ark and
meet with the elves. The princess is going to go meet the elves to find out what's going on, and the elves are going to turn around and say, you broke our treaty, therefore. So she's going to have to report back. So there's going to be this crossover at some point where
Ark's going to get caught up in this
meet
bigger,
the royals and things. But again, the pacing's really nice for that. So must watch, guys. Great show for this series.
It's really impressive that they could take an overpowered isekai character and make him just not boring and actually a person character you can watch and enjoy.
Yes.
Right.
Definitely.
Okay.
So
it's time.
It's time.
I have been really looking forward to this.
Yeah.
I am going to be talking to you about your boy Kongming, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if anyone else has watched this. This is 100% a must-watch. You have to see this. It is brilliant, right? So, I'm going to give you the setting, because this was one of the ones I picked up post-dropping other stuff. Chinese general from like 200 AD, I think it's like 264 AD. He's on his deathbed and passes his way before he sees a united China. And then ultimately finds himself in modern day Tokyo on Halloween. So he's reincarnated in modern day Tokyo, and he is a younger version of himself, right? He believes he is in hell because everyone's dressed up as demons, as witches.
Oh my god, I love it!
Because it's Halloween, right? So and everyone's drunk, everyone's completely sloshed, and so he's going around, and he's dragged around by these two guys that have just randomly bumped into him. It's like, oh, amazing Kongming costume, bro, yeah, and not realizing it's actually him. So they take him to a club called, I think it's like the BB Lounge or something like this. And while he's there, he's listening to overly loud music. He's, oh, what the hell is this? Ultimately, a singer comes on, an amateur singer by the name of Eiko, right? E-I-K-O, which is her on the screen right there. Eiko.
Okay.
Yeah, Eiko. Yeah. And he utterly falls in love with her singing, right? Yeah, absolutely loves it. And he decides to dedicate himself to seeing her succeed. So she finds him out on the street after like the pubs and clubs and everything have closed, and she ends up bringing him home because otherwise he's gonna die of cold being out on the street. So she starts like, he's confused. He sees technology. He's like, what's this? That's a mobile phone. What's this? That's a humidifier. What's this? That's my laptop. What's this? He's confused by absolutely everything. And this is when he discovers himself that he is actually a younger incarnation of himself. And she starts like, while he's pondering what's happened and he's realizing he's reincarnated, not gone to hell, she starts playing on her guitar and things. And again, he's reaffirmed he's going to go out of his way to become, and I quote, her tactician, right?
Nice.
And I want to tell you what happens during the second episode. This is not spoilers, right? So during the second episode, they come across this singer. They go out to see this singer and everything, and they come to a face-to-face. And the singer says, hey, you're an amateur singer. Why don't you come and be... oh god, what's the, when you go to a band, you a warm-up band? What's the
opening band?
Yeah,
so,
right.
Opening band.
Opener.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, be an opener for me. And it turns out to be a trick. It's actually a versus thing. So where you actually So the idea is who can actually get the bigger crowd on their floor, right? And it's a small space and everything. And Kongming actually uses one of his previously deployed strategies from his original life called the Stone Sentinel Maze, right? And I had to look this up because I didn't really understand what they were saying in the anime. Do you know what this is, Loz?
I play Dynasty Warriors.
Okay, right. So you may be able to fill in some blanks. No, seriously.
Real true history there.
So basically, the idea is you've got to obscure the floor. You've got to make repeating landmarks, right? And the idea is that people get lost within this maze, right? It's not actually like a proper walled maze or anything. It's just like, repeat. And the
it's
idea
like getting lost
is
in a forest because you can't see where you're going through all the trees. Like there's no real landmarks there. You can't latch on to anything.
No. The problem is that there are landmarks, but they're repeating landmarks.
Right. Yeah.
So if you when somebody tries to go, right, okay, I'm in a situation, I need to start orientating myself.
Yeah.
So they think, okay, so that's there.
Yeah.
But then you go, okay, you find similarities, you find a second object, it's like, okay, this is here, that's there. Then you find a third object, you think, wait, that was the first object again. Wait,
yeah, have I gone in a circle?
Yeah. Wait, where have I?
Yeah. So what Kongming actually, what he does is he gets like first off signs for the bathroom, right? And he puts them in front of the staircase, the bathroom, and the staff room, right? Then he gets Christmas trees. He puts Christmas trees around the actual floor. He gets he has multiple bars. Basically there is at least 2 of everything, right? So that no matter what, whenever someone tries to leave the floor, they're lost and they can't work out how to leave.
And so they come back.
So they stay in the room. So he basically brings them down with free drinks. This is the plan succeeding, right? He brings them down for free drinks, and then they can't work out how to leave, but they stay for the music. They don't. They give up trying to leave because. And when the bitchy singer works out that she was beaten because all of her floor left and went down to Aiko's floor, right, or Aiko's floor,
and then they're not going to get out.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like she never worked out that they couldn't get out. They never worked out that they couldn't get out. Yeah. But it was honestly, it was just like, this is genius, right? And Kongming does all sorts of weird and wonderful shit throughout I binge watched the whole fucking thing, right? And this is another series that I will just, it's out! Stop what I'm doing. Watch it, right? It's so brilliant. It's so, like, original and shit. I love it. It's so good.
It sounds really good, yeah.
I cannot, like,
I've heard nothing but good things from other sources, too. So, yeah.
It's so fucking funny as well. It's just so tongue-in-cheek in places. Yeah, honestly, everyone should watch this. And also, such a banger of an opening as well. I feel like it's such a kid saying that. But yeah, it's got a brilliant opening as well. I love it.
You're supposed to say it slaps if you want to sound like the kids.
It's bussin'.
Bussin'.
Oh, no.
I don't know what.
You don't get to say that. Never say that again.
Why? I don't even know what it means. I don't think the kids do either.
No, they don't.
Oh.
Right.
So that is it. And Loz and Nasuth are too old to say that word.
Kongming's got that drip going on.
Man, that intro was bare good.
Oh, did you just watch it?
I never learned that one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's brilliant. And that's just the second episode, by the way. Like, yeah. So I highly recommend the series. Right, I think...
I believe that's it.
We list off our, like, dishonorable mentions. Yeah. So we had the rejected shows that we didn't actually watch through were Aharen-san wa Hakaranai. Sorry. A Stab Life, Great Escape, Miss Sachiku and the Little Baby Ghost, RPG Real Estate, Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie, and Tomodachi Game.
Fucking Tomodachi
Game for very, very good reasons. So that is it for the 6-episode roundup. It's time to move on.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the full season roundup.
Cool. So it's time for the supporter questions. Right. So Zrugel says, before I read out the supporter questions, I just want to thank you all for watching or listening this far to our podcast. Please hit that thumbs up button and leave a comment if there's anything you'd like to say. We read them all.
And also share it with your friends.
Right. Right. So what are you doing?
Loz and I have not appeared on the same. Loz and I have not appeared on the same screen in a long time.
Okay, so what, you try to tickle Loz?
Thaylien,
he's doing some weird crap.
Thaylien, you tickle us all the time.
Anyway, right. Zrugel also says, can you recommend any anime where the character play a tabletop game like Dungeons and Dragons? I don't mean an isekai. I mean like a slice of life. Oh my god.
Well, there was the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon from like the 80s.
Yeah, I don't. I could tell. I remember some anime where the characters sit down and play. Is it shogi or what's the other one? Mahjong. Yeah, but Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, they might exist, but I just don't think it's culturally the same thing for them to do it like that.
The rest of them have all been like card games and things.
Yeah, the
same
like,
stuff.
Settlers of Catan,
Kaiji, and what was the other one? We had a collab of it, Loz, recently in Cinewalis.
Oh,
it's the gambling
one. The gambling one.
I can't remember. But not of a tabletop game.
If you want tabletop games or board games, there's Jumanji and Zathura.
Yeah, fair enough.
But not Jumanji 2.
Anime.
Anyway, right, the next one is Airplane Kun This week is a rare crossover episode of the Kanpai Cast hosts, where Loz and Thaylien, who are finally in the same place at the same time, so are not actually the same person. In the spirit of...
we pre-recorded Thaylien. We pre-recorded Thaylien. This is all... He knew, you know...
I don't know who the fuck Plankun is. I can't tell.
It's like Chuck Kun.
Anyway, in the spirit of the great crossovers, like Batman and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles...
Hero Turtles, I think you find.
No, it says Ninja. I am reading it.
You're British,
what would
say
be...
hero.
We only had that for one season.
Also, it is the name. It also is the name of the movie. Don't forget, it's the name. Of the
Anyway,
movie.
what would be your ideal 2 series to cross over?
That's actually really tough.
Skeleton Knight.
Overlord?
Overlord.
Oh my
No,
god!
Skeleton Knight in Konosuba! Skeleton Knight in Konosuba!
Also good. But but that would be just super hilarity. I was like, so maybe the bloody Overlord come away and understand what a funny, good, interesting
character is.
Protagonist could be. Instead of Momon, the boar.
I think I would go for Armor Goddess and High School Double D. The idea of putting actual goddesses against actual demons and seeing what happens in those battles.
Doro Hedoro and Madoka Magica.
Ooh.
Oh, God! Oh!
How grimdark do you want to go?
Yeah,
anything with fucking Maho Shoujo Madoka Magic can fuck off.
But he'd be trying to kill the magical girls because they're sorcerers.
Yes, he'd be trying to kill
Not fast enough. Anyway, moving on. So Aeroplane Kun also says, now that Loz is actually here, though, it's time to take up the mantle put down weeks ago by Nasuth. I must, once again, attempt to get Xeno to read out the name, I'm not reading that out, and ask the Kanpai Cast why they think this keeps happening to Xeno over and over again.
Well, clearly he's stuck in a time loop, and he's trying to stop the Overfiend. But, you know, at some point, the time loop will catch up. And
I'm shocked. I'm shocked, you haven't got the Google text-to-speech of that and just play it. I will, once again, attempt to get Xeno to read the anime name, which is Button. The Overfiend. Like, I'm not reading this, but Google will do it. There you go.
Well, I'm trying to make sure that...
Anyway,
shut up! I don't want YouTube to just freak out, okay? YouTube freaks out over the most minor of things.
It's true.
Have you seen, like, the anime content creators pronounce hentai, right? They call it hentai for a reason, right? They use special script in order so they can actually spell it out, that YouTube doesn't recognize what the fuck it is.
Yes, that's like why I would often in shows, and maybe for Skeleton Knight, if we were to use more descriptive language, I would discuss the application of grape in it. Because there's a lot of grapes, and you want to see how those grapes are applied.
Yes.
Anyway, Nasuth, a very sensible human being, and now I know who the other one is.
Oh, I forgot to put my actual name in there.
Nasuth says, no, I'm reading it! With places like Netflix planning to offer you less for more, how can you bring this sort of thought process to your own content? I already do it for
Machinimas, yeah.
Right. And then Nasuth also says, last week, our intrepid hosts tried to find a utopia for Xeno, I don't know how I misread that, to settle down in besides Star Trek. Is there a fictional utopia you'd like to live in?
Gundams.
Gundam isn't a utopia.
How is that a utopia?
I don't think that's a utopia.
It's a utopia because it has Gundams.
If it has Gundams, it's a utopia.
Okay.
And you've got.
I'm back to Armor Goddess again because just it's not quite a utopia, but it features those lovely goddesses that we need to.
Okay. So I feel that the Konosuba setting would be a brilliant utopia. But my question is, do I have to deal with Aqua? Because that would just, that's a deal breaker right there.
See, I was going to say Konosuba too, actually. So yeah,
she's actually she's somebody else's problem. She's already been dealt with.
How is Konosuba a utopia?
Do you realize how easy they have it?
They spend the majority of her season working to enough money to just about survive while living in a stable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's because of what's his name? Is
bloody Aqua.
Yeah.
She keeps spending all the fucking money.
The other people that were sent through, if you recall, are famed as heroes and worshipped as they walk by in the streets.
Yeah, you have that one guy.
No, hang on. This is just like pick a utopia, not pick a utopia you're allowed to isekai in and become an isekai. You're just a general civilian. You don't have goddess level powers. Is the Konosuba world?
Everyone else is perfectly happy. The only one that's miserable is Kazuma.
They do make allusions to other people living in the stables.
Do they?
Because there's that one guy that tells him to quiet down or something. Yeah.
Oh, I would assume that's the stable owner.
Why would he be living in his stables?
No,
he's
wouldn't.
out there because he owns the place.
How thick do you think the walls are?
The stables, they're pretty thick. You don't want to lose horses. They're very valuable.
Not when they're made of bloody wood.
Yeah. The uninsulated wood, Loz.
Also, I'm pretty sure you see the outside the stables. It's a separate building from anything else.
Yeah.
So why would the owner be there? I'm pretty sure they do make other allusions to other people living in the stables.
I promise you, Loz. As someone who has owned horses, right? You can hear them. No, not in a fantasy setting. In a modern day setting, in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, you can genuinely hear the horses from the stables.
Yeah, but not so much that you tell the horses to stop.
Well, you can't tell horses to stop.
You can't tell horses to stop.
You can't tell a horse, but you can tell people if they're chatting about in the fucking stables.
It's also a world in which most of the people have lost hope, if you remember the setting correctly.
No.
Yeah, that's why Aqua sent him there. Yeah, because that's why they're trying to send people there to get rid of Demon Lord, because nobody's trying.
I'll also point out, Aqua's an idiot.
Yeah.
You take that back about the goddess.
I will also say, if it means I have to go live in whatever her capital is, no, I'd be like, no.
Look, you Eris worshipper. You need to repeat the mantra. Eris pads her breast.
Bruh.
I actually want to change my answer, although it is not an anime setting. I want to live in the world of the Queendom of Soul, which is a book series. It's really good.
No idea. Anyway. Right, so let's move on to the comments.
Moving on.
Okay, so Drex Paddock says a sci-fi story that just has some kids and an AI sounds like a crap idea for a game anyway.
We were talking about Orbital Children, and I can't imagine what game he's talking about. That doesn't.
Doesn't ring a bell.
I have no idea what you're talking about. What you're alluding to.
Yeah, there's a certain quality of games that people aren't played if they used to own horses.
Yeah. None of this free-to-play crap.
What the fuck? Okay, moving on. Trex Paddock also says, the original Matrix movie touched on the idea of a utopia being a bad environment for humans to actually live in. And yeah, I remember that.
Yep. There's that whole agent
girls to quote the agent quote,
people
Smith quote.
Rejected it.
That again, it's absolute stupidity. It's that they've rejected it. I just don't get this. I don't accept that. I think it's just stupidity. It's the same thing how every media always says like, "Oh, you wouldn't want to live forever in permanent youth." No, nobody would ever want that. You'd become nihilistic. Like,
why?
One specific media did say it did do that.
Our lifespans are about 100 years. If you expand that out and say you could be at the prime of your life for, let's say,
1,000
30
years.
years old, and then say that for the last 1,000 years, the amount of change you would, if you say offered a person at the year 1,000 immortality, and they'd like, oh, but they'd get bored, the amount of change and amazing things they've seen in that 1,000 years would make you think, well, what am I going to see the next 1,000 years? What am I going to see the next 1,000 years after that? It's stupid.
Again,
we don't know what the future's
This is again touched on in the Queendom of Soul books, and I think it's handled really well. So go read those.
Moving on. Zrugel says, "Loz looks dead inside. You're on camera, man. Show some emotion." I'm joking. You're fine.
Part of the time I'm playing Dead Cells while doing this. Also, it is the lighting. I just want to point out. So, like, if my screen's most of the time it's quite dark, so it does let me look quite bad. But if I just flip to a light screen, there we go. Like, I'm a bit more lively now, so I get a bit.
No, honestly, it was at the very beginning of the episode, and you looked a little
You actually look a little bit Bram Stoker.
Right. The next one is ha 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 ha.
I
remember those. Yes, I do. Ha 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 ha. I remember those. No, I didn't. Ha ha ha.
Right.
Ha,
Yes.
ha.
Sorry. Yes.
I remember those Gone Wild commercials. Thanks, Nasuth. Those were cringe.
They were.
No, I didn't. Shut up.
No. That one doesn't exist.
Right. And speaking of Gone Wild, Mick Evans says, "Coming this July, a feast of sunshine, beaches, and bots. It's Androids Gone Wild. Hot Genoid Summer Edition."
Did you actually go to the commercials, Thaylien? Because you got it spot on.
Okay. We've got all the best of the automation chest, the superior metallic posterior, the lows and highs of those polycarbonate thighs. Ever wanted to see a bikini car wash, but hate all those human girls getting in the way? Now's your chance. We interview Jeannie, the auto service wash in her bikini. Android's Gone Wild. What the fuck is this, dude?
I'm gonna have to show Xeno one of the. I'm gonna show Xeno one of these commercials. I'm gonna have to.
Well, okay. So that's okay. Right. Let's get to the reason why we're all here. The memes.
The real reason everyone's here.
The memes.
Right. Okay. So, meme number one. Me. PC is better than consoles. Friend. Okay, but is your PC better than consoles? Yeah. Right. Buying the dip. Buying more of the dip. Dip keeps dipping. Dipping further. This is in relation to the whole cryptocurrency / NFT market dying. Oh yes! Spinal fluid from young mice sharpened memories of older rodents. Researchers identified a protein in the fluid that could boost the cognition of aging animals and might lead to future treatments for people, and it's the Beast Titan. So.
Oh my god.
Right. Number 4, watching an anime on legal websites, watching an anime on pirated websites, watching anime in 480p on YouTube in 4 parts with Spanish dub. I somehow forgot about this one.
Okay.
I feel Sabuchi would have to object, but you know.
Yeah.
One day, I'm sorry to say, we will lose Netflix, and so we won't be able to say the Netflix adaptation anymore. Yeah. But it's just so good.
All right.
But surely it'll be replaced with the Disney adaptation.
And finally, we had
Oh my god!
Spy X Family one. The agents back there said agents back there were calling you a DILF. What is that? A fact. Oh,
there is no lie.
Okay.
All right.
It's my first one. School clubs in anime. You know, they've got all the fucking resources. They got crazy sports clubs, game consoles, and all that shit. School clubs in real life. In terms of money, we have no money.
I remember at school trying to set up 12 to 16-year-olds trying to set up a 40k club.
Oh,
The most we got was a room after school for an hour. That's all we got. And then most of the time, confused teachers would try and kick us out until they had to get explained. Yeah, I really wish we had the Japanese system where you could do things with people and encourage social activities. We do not understand this over here.
No, we really don't.
Things with people?
So my second meme. Yeah, sorry, I had to put this one in. I couldn't laugh.
It's true, though. It's true.
When I flipped my pillow to the cool side. Yep.
My
my third
to the
meme.
cool side of the pillow.
Definitely during summer, I'll give you that.
Yep. My third meme. Oh, God. Hey, Leo. Oh, God. When are you gonna marry me?
Come on, marry me.
Come on, marry me. I'll marry you when you're just a little. When you're a little older, sweetie. Professionals have standards. Yeah.
Well, seeing as we now discovered how old technically he is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Was that 3?
That was 3. 4.
Yeah. 4.
Yeah. So this is to do with love after world domination.
You guys have seen this week's, yeah? Because I think a better one would be definitely the one when they're at the beach doing this. Similar thing at the beach would just be better.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
I'm getting Dawn of the Witch kind of references there as well.
Okay, who would win? Demon Slayers with simple black hair and unadorned uniforms, or the Star Trek security forces wearing red shirts?
Dear. Oh no!
And then
I like where that's going.
my last meme.
Oof.
Do you know? Actually, before you move on to the last meme, I honestly feel they would try and attack each other, and just in the act of attacking, just both sides would just die. Neither side would win. They would just die just from existing. just being near each other, both sides would just implode.
Friendly fire from one side and accidental sword swings from the other would like lop off arms and things.
Is it just not working?
It's just, do you want to pause real quick or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Choose your first Pokemon. I choose you.
Oh my god.
I could not. It's just brilliant.
But at least this way he's not dating Ash's mum.
Yeah.
Dating.
A light way of putting it.
Anyway, so that is it for the memes of this week. Thank you very much for everyone for listening. Next week we're going to be doing, I'm going to say, the Waifu Wars. That's supposed to be 2 separate things now.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Jeez, God.
So Loz is like, what the fuck does this mean?
What?
That's a very good question, Loz. You'll have to wait till afterwards before we discuss it. Anyway,
you have to wait till next week.
So that is it for this week. Thank you very much for watching/listening. And now it's time to bottoms up and
Kanpai!
Kanpai!